Interesting card choices, Nibs.
I'm pretty fat. Did I actually say that live? Yeah, there's a lot of cards. I think like Darkwonix would be actually pretty proud of this deck.
Oh, yeah, maybe it works out for him.
Amaz definitely loves Sylvanas. And now we can see what's going with the mulligan. Savjz mulliganing his whole hand. And Amaz on the coin. He has Acolyte of Pain, which is crucial because we just stated that draw is very important with the Paladin not having many cards. That Acolyte of Pain will be able to give him a couple of cards, even if he gets only one card, that's still important.
I think it's okay though, because Paladin's rarely playing things early, so you're stacking cards. Acolyte often gets silenced too by something like Ironbeak, and he does have the ability to just play things pretty slow. So I think the Acolyte is important, like you mentioned, but having something like double quality in hand and Consecration to answer a big board, I feel like it's even more important.
Oh yeah, definitely. And having both of them at the same time is so good. Being Savjz in here, are you happy with that?
Well, he didn't have the opportunity to play something on turn 4, so he soul-fired and tried to tap more rather to prevent overdraw. But I think he was not hoping to lose the Sludge Belcher. That's a great mid-range creature to draw, once again, things like True Silver Champion and make it really difficult for Paladin.
I think I would be more sad if I would actually lose Faceless. Because playing versus Paladin, I would rely on a combo somehow. I want to have Faceless, Power, Leroy. Because it's super hard to get Paladin really low. But on the other hand, you can outdraw Paladin with Life Tap. So if you're able to like fight for the board, maybe just deal those 10 points of damage after some heals, get them to 20, and then in one turn, just finish them off with a 20 points of damage, Power Overwhelming Leroy Faces combo.
Well, this is a very situational hand from Savjz. A lot of things are kind of responding to the minions being played, or it's kind of an AoE clear of some sort. So he's just going to have to be resourceful and use Defender of Argus right here to try to hope to taunt an activation of the egg, assuming his opponent doesn't have a way of silence and deal with it immediately. But one thing that's really difficult to kind of swallow is that True Silver Champion is often a perfect response to Nerubian Egg. You just kill it off, you just kill off the 4/4, and then there's no threat whatsoever.
Yeah, it's a funny situation because basically you would think, hey, Nerubian Egg is pretty good versus Paladin because I can put it and it's kind of canceling the Consecration. Because if they use Consecration, then I get my 4/4 Nerubian, but on the other hand, if they have True Silver Champion, it's looking bad. By the way, I think the key question, Black Knight is so powerful in here, but the key question is, who's winning at the stall game?
The Paladin wins at the stall game for sure with cards like Ysera, and you have Equality Consecrate to kind of reset. Tyrion, Guardian of Kings, Sylvanas, even low tap to really disrupt the longer the game goes, I think Paladin's favored.
Oh my god, this board is getting Equality Consecration. And Amaz is double Equality, double Consecration. This is so ridiculous. That Harrison Jones will be useless. But you never know. Maybe there's a Jaraxxus in your opponent's... Wait, he's actually not clearing the board? He's playing Harrison Jones? That's bold.
Well, I like saving Equality as kind of the fail-safe against what your opponents do. I think he also coins out Peacekeeper here. Oh, wow. Okay, he's going to go for the coin. Really? Then Harrison Jones gets traded pretty easily or even dies to something really simple like a Hellfire with the Defender of Argus. And then you pretty much lose everything, and then you start getting smacked for damage. I'm not sure if I like this play by Amaz, but I think he wants to be really resourceful against Giants. Because one thing that Savjz has also done is he hasn't shown any threats. So I think Amaz feels really insecure to like drop the Peacekeeper immediately. But I guess Peacekeeper also plays into Hellfire anyways, in which case he's going to lose value. So I think Amaz is playing, again, very conservative resources, realizing that he wants to use these things on the Giants and the Twilight Drakes.
Yeah, I certainly agree. It's the Harrison Jones play was just, hey, I can use those cards to just clear the board because I'm playing this whole game. So use the cards that are kind of useless to clear the board, and it worked. He did clear the board, And he still has the double combo with Equality Consecration, so whatever comes, he can still clear.
Hold on.
And he's...
One sec. Savjz has Leroy and Faceless. His opponents have 15 health. He might not need to use something like board position to win the game if he just wins from the damage in hand.
The combo is so important. And he actually has an Iron Beak as well.
Yes.
But he won't be able to play it, everything on one turn. Molten Giants.
Ooh. How does he deceptively set up a lethal so that way he can hide his information, that the fact that he has 12 damage from hand, and then combine it so that way he has an ability to just lethal from hand without giving Amaz an ability to just impose directly. It's a little tricky. He's going to try to set it up so that way he has something on board, maybe has removal, but if he draws into Power Overwhelming, this game's over.
Or Soulfire. But still, he doesn't have lethal yet, and I really like the silence on Sludge Belcher because Sludge Belcher with Equality Consecration, it clears the board, and you get a 1/2 as a prize. I mean, like, oh my god, not even Consecration. It's like I was thinking Equality Pyromancer. With Consecration, it's even better.
Yeah, you know, I think you can get away with this play too. He is going to use Holy Light, by the way, very intelligently, realizing he might be in combo range. And he's going to put himself out, forcing him to have Soulfire on top of the full combo. And he's okay with his opponent playing a Molten Giant because he has second equality, as well as Kodo and the Peacekeeper.
You probably Siphon Soul this 3-1. But he first played the Molten. And I will definitely play in the Ruby Egg as well. Do you tap? This is so ballsy.
Mortal Coil.
YOLO tap.
It makes sense. You don't have a Taunt Giver. Wow. Okay. And now, you know, Kodo does become a little bit of a gamble, but you do have True Silver Champion to rebound. And, you know, Savjz is also playing with the knowledge that Paladin generally doesn't have the ability to burst. Even for 9. It's a little bit stretching for Paladin to be able to end the game like this.
Yeah, how do you even deal that 5 points of damage with Paladin? Normally, you deal surprise damage with True Silver, but True Silver is already played. Is he going for the Kodo play?
Either outcome is kind of acceptable because you do have True Silver and you have ways to heal, so I think Kodo does come out here. You're hoping for the Molten Giant, which would be really nice. And oh, he gets it because if he had the ability to silence it, maybe he could have gotten that 8 damage back and start doing big deeps.
That's a must for you. Another Molten Giant is pretty nice. Do you Hellfire first? Do you even Hellfire at all?
Hellfire activates the Nerubian, but you put yourself at 6 health.
Okay, so we established that Paladin has a problem to deal 5 points of damage. What about dealing 1 point of damage? Is it hard as well? So if you Hellfire
no, they have Consecration, they can end the game too.
You don't Hellfire here.
Most likely not. Savjz also saw like another Peacekeeper and Kodo, so he realized that's another form of removal being pushed out. He really hopes his opponent doesn't have another equality. That would totally suck. But if he does, he can go for a Faceless play to be really defensive. Or he can save Faceless for the potential to kill his opponent if he draws the Power Overwhelming.
This is so hard for Savjz. It's a very hard decision because you've seen 1 Equality Consecration. Your opponent has only 3 cards. What would you expect? Do you think they'll have another combo?
Oh
my god.
That gives him the full combo, but does he have the luxury of being able to do all this damage if Paladin heals up? If Amaz just uses Lay on Hands, then he's not even in range for combo anymore.
Well, right now Savjz has a potential 22 points of damage out of nowhere.
Yeah, you definitely Lay on Hands. You have nothing else to do. Kodo on this board feels super weak. He's going to continue to draw through. He gets Pyromancer and Equality with Consecration combo, so lots of ways to clear the board.
Savjz has the combo, but he's short on lethal. Even though he can deal 20 points of damage, it's still not enough.
Even if he draws Soulfire, it's still not enough.
Molten Giant is pretty nice.
It's not bad, but again, you're careful not to overextend into something like the equality, so you don't want to tap and then put yourself at risk to just get equality consecrated and the game ends.
Yeah, you don't tap, you just trade, but still, like, Mountain Giant is a pretty nice pickup because without the Mountain Giant, what else could you do? It's like nothing you could play.
I got this.
You definitely trade with 7 points of life. Oh my god.
Pyromancer represents clears. And Maz is still, right now, I think 1 damage off of lethal. And fortunately for the Paladin, it's really difficult to pair together that 1 extra damage.
You kind of want to play the Pyromancer and deal that 1 more damage, but it's only to minions.
Sylvanas top deck is great against something like the Giants if you're able to immediately kill it. It's a little tricky how you pair things together because now that the Mountain Giant is here, you feel like your opponent, if he has combo, which is starting to get likely, Savjz only has 7 cards left, so there's a high probability that he has the combo by now. That Giant can also be the way to represent lethal for Savjz.
If Savjz has the full combo with a Soulfire, then with the Giant it's lethal. But how many assumptions can you make? Like, there's 6 cards. What's the chance of having all the pieces?
Well, your opponent only has 7, or he'll have 6 cards left in his deck. He drew through 24 of them, and he needs 4 cards.
But we've seen one Soulfire before.
Right. But he also hasn't played second one. I mean, it's all about whether or not you want to take that chance.
Wait, what is going on?
And he's gonna do it. And Soulfire off the top means it's game.
Lothar. Oh my god, Lothar is actually a pretty interesting card in here.
No, but Lothar means you lose, I think. Because then he just pushes through anyways, and he just kills you. Like, Consecration just costs 9 mana, but that doesn't matter.
Wait, is Savjz dead to that 1/1 token, actually?
No, the 1/1 token is a little inconsequential, because you just push through with True Silver, and then you Consecrate with Sylvanas. Savjz is going to go for a Sylvanas play, though. He can use Shadow Flame or Power of the Whelming and try to take his opponent's Sylvanas and play it. He's going to give up his combo, but I think he's playing for survival. He can silence his opponent's Sylvanas as well. This is starting to get a little tricky because he doesn't have the mana to do everything.
That 1/1 token is pretty important, by the way. If you play Lothar and silence Sylvanas and then kill Sylvanas with an 8/8, that 1/1 token would be the one last damage that Amaz needed to finish the game.
Wow, so he does take the Sylvanas, use the Power of Overwhelming, and play the control game. And again, Amaz is still just... He's so irritated, the fact that you can't do that 1 extra damage as the Paladin. He's just gonna go for it, at least in terms of using the True Silver, and then start playing the board to try and clear for it, because he realizes Sylvanas and Mountain Giant represent way too much at this point.
I think this is the best game with 1 damage of lethal we had in this tournament. He was 1 damage of lethal for 3 turns. Now he's missing a bit more, but he's out of cards.
So Savjz draws the Soulfire just a little bit too late. He had the ability. And now be careful where you point that, Savjz.
He's just frustrated because
that's
it was
a
the card
loaded gun at this point.
Yeah, now the combo's out.
Just make sure the safety's on when you're pointing that thing. It's a little scary.
1 turn too late.
If Savjz is kind of in tune with what the game is, though, and he's not tilted off the fact that Soulfire was 1 card off from being able to end the game, then he knows both True Silvers have been used, so the only way his opponent can burst is if he's playing something like Avenging Wrath. He's gonna tap. Oh yeah, no, that tap actually has costed him the game, I think.
I don't feel like there was anything else he could actually do. It's just...
Well, the way he needed to survive was actually just to play Lothar and play Ironbeak Owl. But I think you're right, because as much as he can survive, Paladin has outlasted the handlock. Like, there's nothing that he can actually do to win anymore. He's lost his combo potential, and that was his one ability to come back in the game.
I will definitely Hellfire and Soulfire my face. To just
with your 3 mana.
Send a message. Well, not now, but like in general.
All right. Well, this is it, and Amaz has outlasted the Handlock. This was a tough matchup for Handlock in general.
That consecration for 9 mana, finishing the game. Pretty sick. That's the value. Doesn't matter how expensive it is if you win the game with it.